I don't sync it with anything. I just plug in my Xbox controller and play. I'm not. I guess I am a PC gamer, but like, I don't really act like one. Like, my fans are broken, so I just have half my case off the computer. So.
Oh my god.
Like, I don't care as long as it works. Like, my graphics.
My fans are broken. My computer's dead because it's overclocking to 4.3. So that would be awkward.
I thought about overclocking, and then I thought, oh no. And that was as far as I got with it.
Sounds like you put a lot of thought into it.
Well, I built it, so that's like enough for me. That's like that makes me PC Master Race, whatever that shit is. So one of the other things that I'm sort of looking forward to is Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which is coming out. So as you know, developed by Treyarch. I think the Call of Duty series is actually getting a bit more sort of like character put into it. They seem to be like really putting a bit more effort, especially. And I hate to refer to everything back to Battlefront and how much of like a piss poor experience it's probably going to be. But compared to Battlefront now, Call of Duty and Treyarch are really smashing them out. So Battlefront, right? They were the original Call of Duty developers. They switched over to DICE, didn't they, to make Battlefront? Is that right, Jack? Yeah.
Treyarch. Well, the
Treyarch,
two Infinity Ward.
Yeah.
Well, there's Infinity Ward and Treyarch with the two originals. Infinity Ward developed COD 1 and COD 2, and then Activision wanted more installments in the series than Infinity Ward wanted to produce, so they licensed Treyarch to make 3, which did quite well. And then 4 came out, which was by Infinity Ward, and then World at War was by Treyarch, and they've been swapping sort of ever since.
So my knowledge there is absolutely wrong. But anyway, the game, it looks pretty cool, I think. So Treyarch have done pretty good, I think, with this. So the single-player campaign, you can have up to 4 people playing at once. Every mission is unlocked instantly, which is a fairly interesting design choice. But again, if you want to just play through with your friends, that's great. This time there's a big focus on customization. So you can customize your style, and you can even play as a woman, which I don't really think should be like a big crazy thing, but it is. And it's good that it's happening. I think we need more sort of gender-neutral characters alongside in games, definitely. So there's... What else is coming on? There's a new class system coming out with a specialist alongside sort of normal customization. You can get the season pass for £35, which includes the zombie packs. And I did see a couple of trailers for the zombie content in it, and it looks absolutely brilliant. It looks like Left 4 Dead almost, but just like really nicely polished and new, and that looks pretty good. There is a couple more season passes to get some extras. They come up a range of prices, but the most expensive one being at roughly $199, which also includes a coaster set and a mini fridge. That sounds pretty fun.
Because you need to keep your Mountain Dew chilled somehow.
Yeah. So are you looking forward to Call of Duty? Do you think it's going to be another billion-dollar game or whatever it sells each year?
I think, well, sorry, no, Rob, you go ahead.
Yeah, it will be, and no, I couldn't care less. Nice and simple. People are going to keep buying it, and I think I stopped about 4 or 5 games ago, thankfully. Save money. It's good.
The last one looked quite good, I thought, with all the jetpacks and the bridge just falling. And the set pieces, all the single-player campaigns are always really good in those games, I thought.
I played the one it was at my friend's, so you had the one where the zombies had some exosuit, and you had exosuits as well. It was definitely different. They changed the game a lot, so can't claim that they're just keeping everything exactly the same. But the zombie, it wasn't as satisfying as the old Black Ops games I remember, where the zombies were just simple zombies when they're flying around and jetpacking at you. It kind of made it harder than it needed to be. But yeah.
And Jack, I guess so. You're more of a Battlefront player than a Call of Duty player, right?
Well, it's actually quite interesting because I was originally a Call of Duty player. I 1, 2, 3, well, and the big red one. I played 4 religiously. I was actually technically, I'm an ex-professional gamer from Call of Duty 4 because I was in a 4-man clan and we did stuff on Game Battles, which is an old sort of game ladder site, and we came 7th in Europe, so it's pretty good. And I loved Call of Duty. I loved how responsive it was. The shooting's always, well, in the original games, just felt right. Like the weapons felt nicely balanced. And what I really enjoyed about 4 was that the multiplayer experience was cohesive. It was really ordered, and the map design was truly impeccable. I've not played a game since where I've played through the maps and like in Call of Duty 4, I remember only 1 or 2 of the maps I wasn't a fan of, and the rest I thought were brilliant. My problem with the series is that they've added so much to it that it's not. They haven't changed the core gameplay, so you're still playing Call of Duty. They've just added what I feel is bloat. So things like these kill streaks and these death streaks and these classes and these specialists, it becomes so convoluted and confusing. When you played COD 4, you knew that if you got 3 kills, you get radar. If you got 5 kills, you got an airstrike. If you got 7 kills without dying, you got a helicopter. And that's all there was. Whereas now it's like there's dogs and jetpacks and fart grenades and lasers, and like I can't keep up, and I just never know what's happening. And it's like you get punished really hard if you're not someone who can get like so what was it when they introduced the nuke thing? I thought that was so odd that if you're a good enough player that you can consistently get 25 kills without dying, you win every game. Which obviously I understand, you know, if you're getting 25 kills without dying, you're pretty damn good. But then I felt punished because I wasn't like the pro elite Twitch scoper. I just wanted to run around and have fun. But having said that, I think Black Ops 3 is the most interesting looking game in the series since Modern Warfare 2. I think it got super stale after Modern Warfare 2. And I think what's really interesting about Black Ops is that they're doing this open mission design. So the way the levels have been set out is that it's obviously Call of Duty is famous for its scripted linear set pieces in the campaign. But this one is kind of thrown out the window and saying, well, actually, it's kind of more of an open setting in the missions. You guys can make your own routes and work together and use your special abilities to traverse the map rather than being funneled through these corridors. Yeah. And so I think it's going to be interesting to see if that makes the game better. Like, does that take away from what Call of Duty was originally? And sci-fi. I mean, they sold me on that instantly. So I'm probably going to pick it up, which for me is quite a big deal because I was adamantly against it. And yeah, like you said, a Battlefield fan after I made the switch after Black Ops 2. But I just worry because the people who made the good Call of Duty Infinity Ward, that company, those designers, they're not there anymore. The people who made Call of Duty 4 don't make Call of Duty anymore, apart from a few exceptions. And so, to me, you just got to treat it as a different game to what it used to be.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's quite interesting with it. I think.
Well, especially this one, anyway.
Yeah, the head towards like the futuristic space stuff definitely does seem a lot more interesting than the older stuff, I think. And it's all cool. You know, they can be more innovative. It's interesting how you mentioned sort of bloatware. Because if you look at something like World of Warcraft, for example, which went on for like still going on now, but it's been on for like 10 years, maybe a bit more than that now. And like those type of games, you know, they just keep adding new mechanics, they keep adding new pets, new whatever you want to play with, new spells, and you know, people want that, people like that. I think it's almost like Call of Duty is like an MMO, really, isn't it? Where people just want to come back and play the same thing and grind and grind and grind. It's like Pokemon, like you said before, as well. And yeah, I think it would potentially be worth it, because a lot of these games as well, for me, like even Counter-Strike, it's just like you have to play and you're shit until you memorize the map. And then you're like pro, and that's like the end game. And then,
I personally think that's like poor games design. I think if you're punished for not memorizing a game, yeah, I do agree. There's definitely a place that I play League of Legends, so it'd be really hypocritical to say I don't like games with a learning curve. But yeah. I think what made Call of Duty so enjoyable was how accessible. I used to be fucking awful at games, and I remember playing Call of Duty, and it wasn't until 4 that I really made a dent in my gaming skill. And I improved with that game because it all made sense to me. It was like, oh, there's a building over there with a second floor, so snipers are going to be there and stuff. It's not that I have to remember, oh, that's actually an area I can traverse, and oh, I can't go this way, and oh, this is the edge of the map. In Call of Duty 4, like the way maps were designed, you really knew when you were at the edge. But for instance, when I was playing Unreal Tournament Alpha recently, that game, the maps, this is very Call of Duty style, the map layout, and it's really hard to tell often, like, with the lines of travel. So I'll be looking down there waiting for some dude, and then, you know, some guy comes up behind and just caps me in the back of the head. And in a game which, like Call of Duty, which I see as a simplistic, fast arcade shooter, all this complex, like you said, MMO systems put me off, personally.
Yeah. So, yeah, okay, I guess it's simplistic in a way. But yeah, maybe not so much anymore. I don't know.
Play Arma 3 and then play Call of Duty. And you'll see
the gameplay in Call of Duty, I think what they've done is really clever. They've you can clearly feel that there's some sort of auto aim going on. It locks onto you quite nice to the enemy quite nicely at certain points, and I think that's what gives people the really solid feeling that this controls really well and I'm really good. When I think half of the work in comparison to like Counter-Strike and stuff, where I think a lot of the aiming is down to whether you're good at aiming or not. I think in COD it does a little bit of that for you quite sneakily. So when you've done a good headshot, you feel as though you were in control of that good headshot. But down under, there's definitely some little aimbot there for you, helping a little bit. I'm not saying it's bad, but I think it's quite evident, and I think that is what people enjoy in it, without maybe knowing.
Jack, pro COD gamer, aimbots, aiming, aim assistance in COD, all bullshit.
Well, Rob's right. Yeah, it's there. It's
Really?
Yeah. No, but you can turn it off. And what I found is that as I became better at shooters in general, I had to turn it off because it was actually starting to like make me worse at the game. Because after I played Call of Duty 4, and I moved on from the series, I played a lot of Battlefield 3, played a lot of Armored 2 and 3, a lot of Counter-Strike. And what I found is that when I went back to Call of Duty, I actually had to go and turn off the auto aim because I'd be, leading a target, and then the auto aim would move it back towards them. But I didn't want that. I wanted to lead the target to then set the shot in. Because I love sniping. I've always loved sniping.
Because I remember I noticed it a few times when just wanted to shoot the guy who was closest to me coming through the door, but the auto aim thought, no, you kind of want to shoot the guy in the background who's no threat to you. And you could feel it dragging up to the left, and then I'd get shot in the face. It's like, what the fuck? Why? I wasn't aiming at him, but yeah, that's when it became evident to me that there was something there. I didn't realise you could turn it off. Oops.
God, all these shooting games are all too difficult. I stay away on my PC from these games. But maybe I think I might go back. Call of Duty looks fun. Call of Duty looks cool. If I can muster up the courage and like the resilience to stick through it and die a hell of a lot before I get any good. The only game I ever played multiplayer well was Killzone on the PlayStation 3.
Killzone was good.
Well, I played
Killzone 1 was amazing.
I played this is Killzone 2, I think, or 3. I don't know. It was on the PS3, but it was like the first one there. And I played through the single player campaign, and then I went straight into multiplayer, and I just like ruined everyone. So I was like, well, there you go. And I just kept playing it because I just kept winning everything, and that made me happy. And they're the kind of games I want to play more, just stuff like
the ones that make you happy.
See, I like games that make me sad and angry. That's why I play League of Legends and Dark Souls.
You're a sadistic fuck, Jack.
People are mentioning Doom, which I think that's Doom 2. Just give me Doom 2 forever.
Doom is one of my favourite first-person games. Any Doom.
What was I like the one I remember playing one on PC years ago, and I had like a torch and I was running around and that was fun.
Doom 3 probably.
Doom 3,
Doom 3 I think it was, yeah, that's all I can remember of it.
Yeah.
Doom 3 was cool, but it wasn't Doom anymore.
Oh, right. Why?
Well, Doom 3 was a very serious game, and Doom 1 and 2 are quite tongue-in-cheek. Like, the gore's so ridiculous. Like, when you have a rocket launcher, you blow up the barrels, it just leaves these, like, this puddle of red and bones. And it's really fast. Like, you're lightning through the levels, especially Doom 2. And it's all about exploring these levels and finding hidden doors and keys and stuff. Whereas Doom 3 was your real modern FPS horror shooter style game, which was it was really done really well. I mean, the bit where you first get the shotgun is so fucking genius. You've been freaked out, all these monsters, whatever. You get in this room, oh, a shotgun, lovely. Pick it up, room goes dark. You start hearing growls. That was brilliant. But I
don't think Doom will ever be Doom again. It's just
no.
There was something about everything that was in the original too. Just the little HUD, the face that made little movements, and the noises he made when you got hit, and his eye movements, and just like clicking on walls, because you at some point you learned that a wall could be a door as well. You just don't see it anymore. That was epic. But I mean, the new Dooms are going to be good. Well, the new Doom looks like it's going to be good. Doom 3 was good, but it just didn't have the authentic Doom feel.
To me, you can go back and play Doom 2. It's not the kind of game that you want a sequel for, or you need a sequel for. I got it on the Xbox Arcade when they released it, and my friends and I, we played so much of it. It was like we'd never played it before, because the co-op especially really brought this really like easy, fun element to it. And even if you played a lot of Doom, there's no way you remember all the secret areas unless you're, the Rain Man, because some of that shit was so ridiculous.